already. Maybe I didn't need the coffee.
I'm fucking riled up. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
That's literally what we said when we were gonna do
Are
the
we
community
recording?
meeting.
Ready to go? Good evening, everyone. Here's a special edition of Woman's Dance. I'm Dr. Sarah Guahahawi Hearn, and I'm here with some very special guests this evening. I'm here with Shara Francis Hearn and Miss Chrystal Lynn and the lovely Chrissy Jacobs. And we're here for a special edition. We've had a very crazy, tumultuous week with all of the different events that have happened in community, and I wanted to bring my sisters together today to have a good conversation about what's going on, and we want to move forward with love in our hearts and strength in our minds to just have a conversation and a couple of laughs. Also, we're not here to, I don't know, whatever the fuck we want to do. We're going to do it. So with further ado, you all want to say hey? Hey, girls. Hey, women.
Sego, Sewagwego. Happy to be here. Excited to engage with everybody. And now, Dr. Hearn, for inviting me.
Oh, you can call me Sarah. We good. We ain't that formal around here. Come on now.
So professional. I love
it. What's up?
Hey, Sego. Also happy to be here. Yeah, I guess I'm just here as a mom, a fellow mom, and an auntie to all. So yes, I'm happy to conversate about whatever we must.
Whatever must go down is gonna go down. Yeah, that's right.
Sego, Chrystal Jacobs. I'm a mom and auntie. That daycare lady.
That crazy daycare lady that throws gavels at boardroom meetings.
And skins hides in the yard with the kids. Just real scone.
Real scone. That's right. We keep it real around here. So, we've had some issues, big issues in our community and in our school district this week, and we wanted to come together to have a conversation about it. You've seen now national headlines about Salmon River School District and the disciplinary box that was placed in the school district, what that looked like, and what it was used for without parental consent in order to treat school children with special needs, just disciplinary action, zero consent, zero conversation, zero transparency. And the community that's been rallying together to stop this this use of discipline, really just a systemic violence across the board, and the beautiful way that our community has come together. And so that's why we wanted to bring these lovely women together to have a conversation about it. So I guess my first question for us all is, how did you feel? And maybe we can start with Shara and then go around. How did you feel when you first saw the box?
So for me, as someone who has worked in education, I've worked in early years all the way through the collegiate learning environment, and I was absolutely appalled. There's no other words to really capture it. I was disgusted and appalled over the thought that someone somewhere thought that this was the right choice. I've worked with students with learning differences in all ages. I've worked with individuals on the spectrum. I've worked with individuals with extreme behaviors in the classroom. And I've never been in an environment where we've turned to a punitive measure such as that. So I was in sheer disbelief and I was angry.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I saw it and just immediate anger and just, like questioning, like who thought this was a good idea? Why do they think this was a good idea? Why are they doing this to our children? Whose kids are these is this happening to, and why? Like, did they know? That was probably my biggest thing is, do these parents even know what's happening to their kids? Like they go to school, they're supposed to be safe. This is supposed to be a learning environment for, I guess in what we could say in the colonial concept of learning, and they're being shoved in a box, and I'm still in just disbelief that this even happened, and that something like this could happen, like even in our own community. to our kids, and it's our own people doing this to our kids. But I'll pass that off to Chrissy.
When I first seen the photos, I started to shake and I ended up throwing up at work. It took me about 10 minutes to kind of like catch my breath just at the thought of somebody's child. Like, my kids didn't even go through my mind for some reason. It just was, I could just picture a small child in there crying for their parents. And, you know, aside from being sick about it, I was just so, like, frustrated, I guess, because all it showed to me was that in all our generations that are trying to heal from residential school treatment and Indian day school treatment was that our work's not done yet. And we need to get to work, and we're going to fix this for our children. And all I wanted to do, and I'm so grateful for my husband, because when I found out about this, you know, he reminds me, like, don't be 20 years ago you, because I wanted to go get chains. Like, he did too, but I probably would have really did it. I wanted to go get chains. I wanted to lock up the school. I wanted to sit there with my car, and I would have happily got arrested if it meant keeping the children safe. But, you know, he reminds me sometimes that I'm smart, and I had to, like, kind of take a breath, but I just kept being so sick about it. And I think I didn't really even have time to process what I seen, because it was so, like, it activated something in me that I just wanted to go to war, like literally war. Mm-hmm. And before I could process it, I had Shara and Sarah and Fallon and, like, my husband, like, what are we going to do? Like, what's going on? Like, mm-hmm. you know, and, like, Sarah was at the daycare, like, straight from seeing the photo, and Shara's in my inbox, and Fallon's calling me, and it's like, what are we going to do? And we just did it. We just been doing things since we seen the photo. Like, I don't think we could have fathomed a plan of action. It just organically came out. Like, I think our whole community reacted together, and we organized together, and we supported each other together.
And I think it's a difference between being reactive and proactive, right? Like, I think of me 20 years ago and, like, flipping tables and burning tires and just being like, fuck you, and, like, ready to punch somebody in the face. Like, that would have been us 20 years ago, right?
And I was fighting to push that back down. Like, that's not who I am anymore. I'm trying to be a better version for my kids.
Yeah, like, who is the role model I want to be now versus who's the fucking warrior in my gut that wants to just go and, like,
that's how I felt. Like, I just want to go to war.
Yeah, because it makes your blood boil. They hurt our babies. I want to hurt them back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this time, strategically, how are we gonna fucking hurt them where it's really gonna hurt? Mm-hmm. And it's in their pockets. Mm-hmm. It's in their policy. It's in their laws. It's in the system that they built to hurt us. We're going to hurt them back systemically, where they can't turn around and change it next year, where we can make sure that it's sustainable. And I think that's the big thing for me. Like, as soon as I saw it and you posted it and I inboxed you.
You were already driving.
I was already driving. I'm like, I already wrote something. I wrote some draft letters. I think they're going to protect our parents. We're going to have a meeting, right? Like, you scheduled the meeting. We're going to go. I will see you there. Like, I'm in your driveway. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I was, like, calling around. I'm like, we need to have a meeting. Where can I have a meeting? My house is too small. Like, will anybody come to the meeting? But we need to give these families the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because everybody went into shock. It was a community visceral reaction. It was a community outrage. It was community devastation. And it was another traumatic event. You know, it makes you think, how much more can we take? How much more do we have to go through? So I ended up getting a place to have a meeting. And I was like, maybe nobody will show up, but Sarah came in clutch with the documents. Like, Fallon came to document and get us meeting minutes and to help us, like, compile lists. And Shara came with her brilliance in community organization and her education background. And everybody started to realize this wasn't just wrong and sick. We started to realize in that meeting how many laws they broke.
Mm-hmm.
And as each family came forward and was stating how they have been impacted, I couldn't even digest it. I didn't sleep until the weekend because every night I was just laying in bed thinking about what I heard and what I now knew. And that, when you think, oh, it can't get any worse, it just kept getting worse all week.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was just a ripple, right? Like you would unbury one thing and it would turn into another, and it would turn into another, and it wasn't just disabled students. It was students who were a problem that were disciplined, and then it wasn't just the students. It was the faculty who had been pushed out, or the faculty who resigned early, or they quit and they went somewhere to another district where they felt safer. And then it was like, okay, well, how does that happen, and what does that mean for HR law, and what does that happen for disciplinary law, or what does that happen for disability law?
It got so big.
It's such a, like, it's ballooning out to this larger, like, animal, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's hard to stop it, and we don't want to stop it because it's not just now, it's not just Harper, it's the system. It's a colonialist system of education that's been happening for generations, that's hurting not just our people, but the people in the different communities around us. It's non-Indigenous people, it's Indigenous people, it's people in our school systems that are being hurt. And to see that unification of all of us with this one unified voice is so fucking beautiful. It's so powerful. And every time anybody asks me, I said, I'm not here to get on a fucking screen. I'm here to talk for that parent that can't speak. And they're consensually asking me to. If they don't say I can, then I shut the fuck up. Like, that's real.
Yeah.
Because it's not my job to talk for anybody that doesn't want me to. I just have a bigger voice than everybody else because I've gone to school and I've trained to do that. And if you want me to, I will. But if you don't and you say, Sarah, that's enough, step back, I will absolutely do that. Because it's such an honor to be able to step out for our community because we love them so much. And all we want to do is protect our babies,
Everyone's babies.
Everybody's. All of them. All of the babies that are being put in harm's way by this district. And then surrounding districts, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Now it's coming out that this is a practice statewide, and I was mind blown that people didn't even know where to start or what to do to not subject their own children to this. Like, they were being forced under duress to agree to this across the state.
yeah.
Like, this was standard.
It fucking blows my mind.
I think the scariest part about that too is, like, when we talk about systemic violence, systemic racism, and the way all of those systems that were never designed for us as Indigenous people are used as weapons against us. And we've heard about that from some of the parents where, when they tried to pull their kids, they were threatened with the Child Protective Services. They were threatened to have their benefits taken away. And some of them had to make the choice between their child's well-being and being able to put food on their table for the family. And that's exactly what colonialism and these systems were designed to do. So for me, anytime I can step up and disrupt those systems, like, I agree with Sarah, it's an honor to do that. I'm much more of a behind-the-scenes person, so to get me up and in the spotlight is not really... that's not really my thing. I'm much more of a behind-the-scenes organizer, but with an issue like this, I think it required ferocity and it required fearlessness. And all I could think about is all of the littles in my family and my nieces and how they would feel if they were that child to be inside of that box. And I wasn't willing to stand down. And I think everybody in this room is prepared to take this fight as far as we need to take it.
No, definitely. I mean, I was like, when are you going to be done? I said, when it's done. When justice is served. When we feel as though our children feel safe in the school system and we have a decision-making body that oversees it. And those people who have inflicted violence are are put where they need to be put, and they're whatever needs to happen needs to be happen. You know, like I don't know what that looks like at the end of the day, but I do know the exposure of all of those violent people and the violent policies, the violent implementation of these acts, all of that being exposed. I'm sure there's more to be uncovered. Like, I think this is just the surface of all of that. Like, when all of that is seen, that's when you start to heal, right? It was just like with the inquiry, all of those stories had to be told so that people could start to let go of all the pain, right? What was that question you asked out there?
I asked you, like, what was the moment in your own personal journey where you felt the shift away from being silent or fearful towards uplifting your voice?
What are you looking at me for?
Because I answered it in the kitchen and I was waiting to hear what you weren't here yet.
Okay. Well, that's why I was like, what? You know, I've had to do a lot of healing, and you know, and all the trauma in my family and just in our family historically, and not to be cliche, but my therapist told me that there are experiences that I have survived or lived through that make me show up in the world how I show up in the world. And now I'm going to cry. I'm trying not to get too deep, but because I didn't always used to be this vocal. I didn't. Like, I had a lot of self-doubt. I thought I was worthless. I believed that I was never going to amount to anything because that's what I was told in the school district. And, you know, I dropped out of Salmon River because I couldn't handle it anymore. But I realized I didn't know what I said at the school board meeting. And, you know, I went back to watch, like, what I said, because when you get up there, you don't have a speech prepared, you don't whatever, you just say what comes out, right? And my whole body wants to shake, and I feel like I'm going to throw up, and I get a headache, and I honestly feel like it's like when you're channeling something, right? It's like you're channeling your ancestors, you're channeling your deceased family members. They're coming through you and saying, say this, now this, that's not enough, more.
So
And so when I watched that recording, I realized when I had that shift in myself, I think it was with the birth of each of my children. As I had a child, I became more protective. I wasn't going to let nobody silence my child or the mistreatment of them based on my lived experiences. And then by the time I got to 4, I was shutting down highways and like fighting with Canada and the United States. Like, it's like you keep leveling up, and it's not a game, but it's like you grow into what you're supposed to be, right? So now that I've raised 600 plus kids, that drive to uplift my voice is to uplift their voice and to uplift protections for them. And so now, I don't know, 8 years into when I felt like I really was myself, like truly, authentically, like I would go around telling people to shut the fuck up. But like now when I say it, they actually sit down and shut the fuck up. So there's been some growth there. But when I think about myself back then to now, it was because I wasn't good with myself. And also, if somebody threw my past in my face, I would be, like, ashamed. But, like, I own everything I've done in my life. I take accountability. If somebody says I hurt them, I will say I'm sorry. Like, I'll try to do better. I do take things people tell me to heart. Maybe I said something in general and it resonated with them. They felt like they were under attack or their family member was under attack. I apologize for that, too, because I don't say things to hurt your feelings. But I will say things to say them for the people that are quiet. And I'm not glad I'm this loud and proud about who we are and what's not right, but I I really wish I had women like our women come fighting for us. And we'd have one or two a generation, right? But now it's like we're all like that. And I'm watching these young mothers grow into it, and it's so powerful, and it's a relief because now I understand when elders talk about, oh, I got this fight and I'm waiting for somebody else to pick it up, you know? And the pride I see in them when they see us at a community meeting and speaking our truth and addressing inequality or violence, they look relieved. So, like, I get it. I feel relieved when I looked around at that school board meeting and I saw everybody standing up to use their voice, whether it was for them or a family member. They all stood up and they addressed the issue, they addressed the violence, and they addressed the injustice. And I didn't realize till I watched the recording that the reason why I also became so vocal, or why I lost my voice and then became so vocal, was because they did throw me in a box for 2 months in isolation at the Salmon River School District. And my parents didn't know. I thought my parents knew, so I thought my parents thought I deserved to be treated like that. And it did, like, kind of take the wind out of my sails for a few years, you know? Like, that had a lasting effect on me and my ability to not doubt myself and to just stand in what I am. Woman, and you're not going to tell me to be quiet if I'm not done talking.
You know, I think we've all been put in a fucking box.
Yeah.
In some way or another at one point in our lives, whether it's by a system or a person or in some, like, it's a fucking metaphor for oppression, right?
Yeah. And
violence.
I think that's what that picture triggered in all of us. We've been an oppressed people. And it was like 2025.
And I can't sit here and say, like, I'm a real big advocate for not sitting here and saying that I'm a victim or I'm a subject of victimry. Like, I really like to, like, reframe and be like, I'm a survivor and I'm going to stand up because of that, but I'm not going to sit in being a victim. Like, I don't like to do that. It's not my thing. And there's a whole, like, theory about it that I wrote my dissertation on, but I'm not going to get into that. And I know, you know, I could be super nerdy about it, but at the same time, it's like, we don't do that either. Like, some people do for a little while and everybody can have their moment for it. Mm-hmm. But I think that was, like, my big thing about channeling ancestors during the board meeting is, like, I started out, we're broken. And then when I watched it back, and I was like, I contradicted myself, fuck. But I was like, I said, we're broken. And then I said, you're not going to break us. Because I was like, wait a minute, we're not broken. We were broken for a minute. But as we're
heartbroken.
We're heartbroken. But as we stand here together and we're empowering each other to find our voice, to stand up and have this big long line
that was
voices.
So,
like, you are not going to break us anymore. We're heartbroken, but you're not going to break us anymore. And it was like we were all finding the power in us to keep moving forward and trying to figure out, like, what does this mean for us now, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just like this uprising. And it wasn't just us in our community, but it was like other people in other communities, like that woman from Walmart and the guy in the cowboy hat and like his father and like their cousins. And they were all there and they were all like, we were all rallying together for this one thing. And it was about the children. And that's all we ever want is for our children to be safe. And I just feel like when it comes down to it, like, they can't win because we have such a strong force, you know? And I just don't want us to sit in this, like, I don't want to sit in a space where we're taking that experience of oppression and whatever our box is and carrying it with us so it weighs us down. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm talking to families. I was talking to a family this morning, and she kept checking on me. I was telling Shara about this earlier. They check on me just as much as I check on them. And they're like telling me what they're doing with their family and how they're uncovering how the experiences in the boxes and what that looked like and what happened in the schools and like dropping trauma on me left and right all day, right? While I'm shopping for Christmas and while I'm doing X, Y, and Z and I'm going for my run and then I get a text, right? And it's like, oh, and it knocks the wind out of you. But then they're also like, are you smudging? What are you doing for joy? Did you cook for solstice? Are you okay? like, because we're community, they want to know how I am too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're checking on me just as much as I'm checking on them. And that connection, that care, that means the world to me. Because when I was in the inquiry, like, I didn't know them, but we were connecting because we were all Indigenous people going through that, and they were disclosing their stories to me about MMIW. But for this is home. And these are people I'm going to run into at Wild Bill's when I'm going to get my Bev's brew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a product placement. but you know what I mean though? Like those are the things. Like, that's why we do what we do. But the fact that they in reciprocity, we're caring for each other just as much. Like, that's so important. And any other woman wants to step into our circle with us to help with this fight, come on.
We need everyone for this fight.
Let's go. Like, it's not just us. Like, we're not a cult. Like, we're just fucking, we're all doing this together, you know? Like,
yeah.
And it's bigger than us.
It's not an Indigenous issue, and I did a couple interviews, and I was trying to, like, share that and say, when our people say every child matters, we don't mean it our children, like just us, because we experience residential school. We mean every child matters. Every child in the state, every child in the country, every child in Turtle Island, like every child in the world. Like, because we're supposed to spread that care and love, right? And to live in peace with each other. And nobody's going to have peace if you're attacking our children and you're hurting our children. And so I try to keep just saying, this isn't just our issue. This is everybody's issue. And some reporter asked me, so now that it hit the governor's desk, is this enough for you? And I kind of like got insulted because I'm like,
enough?
Like, enough for me? Like, I've had enough of this. But no, it's not, because yes, she's been notified and things like that, but there's no law that has been changed yet. I want to see a law changed. I want to see the banishment of kid-size crates and jail boxes across the state, across the country, because now it's starting to come out, now that it's gained national attention, it's starting to come out that many school districts use this. And they will claim it's for a special needs or a behavioral student or this or that. But what's starting to be reported wide across the country now is that they pick and choose who they throw in those things. And it's not right. And so it's not enough for me. I just wanted to kind of be like, fuck you. What do you mean me? Like, this isn't about me. It's about everybody's kids. And it really sucks that these colonial institutions and just like the whole American culture as a whole it's like every man for himself, and you don't care unless it happens to your family, and you don't care unless it happened to your child. Whereas in our people and in our principles, it affects every single one of us. If it breaks that mother over there's peace, that her child's going through something, then yes, it affects me. So no, it's not enough. Like,
it's like that one.
I'll be 100 still fighting with people, I guess.
It's like that one interview where they just made me look like a crazy auntie who's gonna go beat the shit out of somebody in the car.
We can bring that too. We can bring that energy too.
I'm trying to like stay out of jail, but you know, like they're making it really hard.
It was like the last thing I said. I don't know. We're coming for you or something in the car.
We can go to the school with chains. I was like, yeah, we can do that too. Like our grandmas did it. Let's fucking go. But
and that's the one quote they used from Dr. Hearn on the fucking news channel. I was like, I didn't even barely get interviewed, but it was about me shutting down the school with chains. So I'm like, fuck.
Well, I'm smacking my gum next to her because I'm not used to being on a screen.
So
just
busy.
real. Talk to my mom out the window and I'm just chomping away and I'm like, oh my goodness.
But that's real.
Yeah.
That's who
that's
we
real.
are.
That's who we are. Like, life doesn't stop. Like, all of our auntie responsibilities, all of the mothering, our jobs, all of that, our community responsibilities, they don't stop. This just becomes a part of our bundle now. And I think there's beauty in that. And for me, when I was heading to that meeting, I was like really thinking about like, am I going to speak? What do I want to say? Is it my place to speak? And then I began to think about my own grandmother who was involved in this fight many, many years ago because of abuses that happened to my own father at Salmon River. And I picked up the phone and I was like, hey, Grandma, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, nothing, honey. And I was like, well, do you feel like going raise some hell? And she was like, where? And I said, Salmon. And she says, I'm getting ready. So
I love that.
I thought that was really, like, for me, it was really powerful to bring her in as an elder and somebody
Yes.
who's fought so hard for so long for equity in our education systems, and who has named abuses and who has refused to be silent. Bringing her and uplifting her voice and presenting her, like, that's us opening our own hearts. And, like, to me, sharing my grandmother is sharing my most precious treasure. So I took that very, very seriously. And then to have the opportunity and the privilege to let her know, you know, she's 80 years old now, and to let her know in that very public way that I was here to pick up that fight, and she could pass that baton, and it's time for her to rest now because she's earned that. Like, that was, I think, everything for me. And to be able to give her that sense of peace, and knowing that there's this next generation of wildly fierce and educated and community-driven women who will not rest, I think gives her, it helps restore her peace. And I think that's the best gift I could ever give to her.
Now we're all crying. Well, because I know, you know, that I remember her, your grandmother, and I know that a lot of our elders hang on because they want to make sure that our way of life doesn't die and our language doesn't die, and our fight and spirit don't, right? Because that's what got us to where we are, that we still exist. Like, our existence is resistance. So our elders seeing us stand up and speak on behalf of our children and things that they've too have experienced, that's community care and love, right? We don't think we're better than anybody else. We don't look down on anybody based on age or sex or color. Like, we're just all here shoulder to shoulder. And I think, like, you having the opportunity to do that with your grandmother is everything. And I'm going to tell you, it's everything to her too, because that's a long time to be fighting. Like, that's probably going to be me. I'll be like 100 years old. Like, if things don't change, I'm never going to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. That was the first thing my sister said to me was, our Dada would have been so proud of you. And just to know that the elders that have been doing this, like, I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, we did this fight too, and now it's your turn. Or when we did this, we did this, and that's my advice to you. You know, just like elders coming up, or those who are like the younger generation after those elders coming up and being like, we're tired now, and now it's your turn. It's like you think about all the things. There was that one Dada of the Garo family, and when she talked to me at the community meeting, and she's like, I went through so much, and I was so afraid to go to school, and now my grandson, he's afraid to go to school. Why are we still doing this? I'm so grateful that you're all fighting for us, because I can't fight anymore. And I was like, I'll do whatever the fuck I have to do. I don't care what it is. Like, I'm sorry if you're all watching this for the first time. This is my podcast, and I swear a whole lot
And she
all
cries.
the time, and I cry, and I'm really just authentically me all the fucking time. If you don't know that, then sorry.
Hi.
Disclaimer.
Hi. But no, this is how the fuck it is. But yeah, so, and we were on the Zoom, and we didn't even know we were on the Zoom still, and we were like, oh yeah. But, like, for us to have elders, like, that full circle of love, but also the trauma, like, it's just so much.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up every morning, and you're like, okay, let's fucking go. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm crying, or I'm gonna fight, or I'm gonna, like, do paperwork all day, or what I'm gonna do, but we're gonna fucking do it, whatever it may be, because it's time for this. This is the time, and we stoke this fire, and now we got to keep it going. And
Yeah.
whatever that looks like. And it means if you have a pro boner.
If you know a pro boner lawyer, this is pro bono.
Send him Sarah's way.
What is on your mind? Recently divorced.
None of your business. Anyways, we need a lawyer for free. That's what I'm gonna say there. No.
I can't even get my thoughts
It's too
back.
late. It's too late at night for this kind of shit.
But I really think that if we can find a way to connect like legally educated people with our people who have all these experiences, I think we can change things. I think we can change laws, and I can really believe, and I'm hopeful that we can change how we treat children going forward and make our standard the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
I have a lot of thoughts, but they're all different. Not different from you guys, just about different things regarding the situation.
Oh, jump on in.
Well, talking about, the school and, wanting to do things our way. I'm currently in a language program here in Akwesasne, and my plan is to be a language teacher and a cultural teacher.
Yeah.
And one thing that, has been, on me, it's what I've wanted to do, and, I brought it up in my interview for the program, is I want to, decolonize our school system. And it's going to take a long fucking time. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of work. But, baby steps, and every baby step is still one baby step forward. You're still moving forward. You're still making progress. And it's one thing that I know, I can't do alone. And I'm also only 4 months into my program.
But you know what? You call that in.
Yep.
You say you want to do it. You say you're going to do something. And I tell you what, little secret, be careful what you ask for. Because you just said you can't do it alone. And we're sitting here what's the plan, honey?
And that's
Let's go.
kind of it. And I'm new to all the activism stuff. I kind of started in 2020 at a people's meeting, and I sat at a fire for 3 months with my baby. And
I remember.
yeah.
And that's this baby with a baby.
And that's
Now I just feel old.
And that's where everything started for me. And then I've just been trying to find my way through everything. And I was talking before we came in here, I've had people say oh, why are you saying that? Why are you what are people we were saying, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna say about
care.
you?
And
that is one thing that I have. That is one thing I say I have a hard time with.
It'll go away.
And I think it's because I'm new to all of this that I get like that. When I stood up to speak at the meeting, what I really wanted to talk about is, I did say, my daughter, everybody who knows her knows. She's
very smart.
She's very smart and not diagnosed, but we're pretty sure. We've had the conversation, her speech therapist and her pediatrician. Us as, everyone as her family, when we see her, we're yeah, you're very smart, you're really cool, and, you're a little different. And different's good. It's not bad.
We love everybody.
Yeah.
We love
different.
difference.
We love
It's
different.
the spice of life.
Mm-hmm. But, that's the one thing is, I know that when she gets her diagnosis and she's going to need an IEP, it's just inevitable. What I'm afraid of and what I wanted to say is, are they going to stick her in a fucking box?
No, they're not.
Like,
Because
no,
that's fucking burn the school down.
That's what I'm terrified. And that's
I
one
gotta
thing.
say that on the record. I will burn that
If
motherfucker.
you've met my daughter, you know that she
I wanna
will
still
fight.
burn it right now.
No, I fucking agree. I agree. And that's what I want to say is, if you've met my daughter, you know that she will shit talk you. She doesn't fucking care. She tells on me to my own mother. My mom was mean to me, and you need to do something about it. She's so outspoken, and I worry. I worry about her.
You speak for every mom in our community and the surrounding community that saw that box.
Mm-hmm.
Every mother, and I think about the moms who don't have disabled children or abled children or that are seeing their friends get put in those boxes or hearing them screaming down the hall in those boxes.
It's traumatizing.
That's all residual trauma from the fucking box, right?
And
so they're all being subject to this. My daughter's best friend came home and they were trying to brainwash her about the box. Said that we never use the box, and my principal's very nice. And did you know that? And they came home. And they said at school that the box was never used. And she's in 2nd grade.
Oh my God.
And they said that their teachers came into her school and told them about the box.
And that's not the only thing. They had it on their PA system during breakfast to like notify all the kids. Like, why would you be so...
They're just indoctrinating.
Yeah, and why would you be so strong in your belief and your legality of abusing children that you're going to tell the whole school pre-K to 5th grade that, oh, yeah, we had a box, we took it away, it was only for one kid. Yeah, don't even talk about that.
Don't give my kid your propaganda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't subject them to the fucking trauma if they don't even know what that box is.
They didn't even know what it was. Like, my kids in my house came home from school talking about it because of the school. Mm-hmm. My kids didn't know, and I'm the one who posted the fucking pictures. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know.
It's so crazy to me.
I've been putting kids in this school system. My oldest is 21. Okay, he's 21. Mm-hmm. So I've put 7 through this school system, and you know what's sad for me? Every time I literally watch them get on that bus and my heart drops a little, and I say a little prayer for them, and I say, I hope that you come out the way I sent you in. Mm-hmm. That they don't take anything away from you, and that they don't diminish your light, and that they don't silence your voice like they did to our generation. And I pray over my kids, and so far I've pulled them out as I knew I needed to for their well-being or their mental health or to protect them, until I saw them get strong and stand up straight again and know that when they went back into that institution that nobody was going to break them again or break them down. Like my kids now know, call my mom. Mm-hmm. They'll go to the nurse, call my mom. What's wrong with you? Call my mom.
I just wish...
And I will go get them if they ask me to.
I wish that all children had that accessibility and that support to do that.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah.
That's the thing, is like, I'll go get my daughter right away. Yeah. And I have the flexibility to do that, but not
everybody does, and that's what's so sad is we are forced to deal with this monster. Mm-hmm. Is what it feels like. It feels like a monster because we're all supposed to go to work and live paycheck to paycheck, and quiet, tired, starving people do not raise their voice.
And if you do, we're going to take your kids away from you and call CPS. Mm-hmm. And how many times did I hear that this week? And I was like, so you're going to blackmail these beautiful people just trying to survive and raise their babies so that you can abuse their kids for them? Like, instead of like allowing them to sit with their kid in school to make sure that you're not hurting them. That woman wanted to go sit with her baby because he said that he was in the box. And she didn't want him to be unsupervised, and they wouldn't let her take him out of school.
They also wouldn't let her in the school.
They won't let us in the schools to sit with our kids anymore or be in the classroom unless it's a parent-teacher conference or an assembly. We're not allowed to just walk in there.
I know.
Which is a safety thing, which is fine, but at the same time it feels like they just keep them.
Yeah. It feels when you sign your kids away. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what it feels like. It's so cold and
so distant, disconnected.
And I think about how they treat different families differently. Yep. Right? We have generations of families coming into the school district, and they were abused or mistreated, and then now the same staff are in there and still in positions of power to now kick out their children or put their children in this crate or it's unfair. If you're going to treat one family one way, then it should be the same, and if not, then it's not right. But also, why are you so bent on making everyone's life hard? Like from the staff to the students, like to the community. Why are you so bent on? And that's the thing that I struggle with, is because I can't imagine what goes through anyone's head in the morning to be like, I'm so happy we had that box built so that we can put our problem children in it. And
But I think it's the larger systemic issue.
Yeah.
I mean, we go back and we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Like, we're not built for systems and boxes. I mean, we all said it in the meeting. It's a colonial construct of a school. It's tyrannical. It's a residential school system put into an elementary school with bright colors, right?
Yeah.
And so for us to, I mean, unfortunately, the expectation for them to create a safe space for our kids to learn is not ridiculous, because they put all of these really good stipulations on it that it's going to be safe and what we want because we have evolved.
Yeah.
But we are not so far from where we were, you know? So for us to look at the school system and say, you failed us, and I've heard this from a lot of people, they're like, well, it is the evolution of a residential school.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
it
it
was
is.
a day school.
And it was a
before
day school, and it
yeah.
was a residential school, and now it is a high school.
And it's the perpetuation of the school to prison pipeline.
Yes.
You know, the criminalization of students with learning differences or big feelings and big behaviors, or any student that doesn't fit into that peg like you're talking about. Their experiences within the system of education are atrocious. They're not afforded the same quality of education. They're not treated as human. They're treated as less than, and it's by design, because it feeds into the wider systems that this American society benefits from. And to me, it's the bottom line is the dollar bill. So all of these systems feed into that wider capitalist monster that's going to continue to consume and consume. And I always think, well, then what is our response to that? And to me, that's where like the beauty of community visioning happens, when I connect with other educators who begin to talk about, well, what would it look like for us to found a charter school, you know, for our children that is accredited and meets those state standards, because we want those things. We want our children to have access. We want our students to be able to matriculate and compete with the academic rigor of you know, the prestigious institutions, some of which I've had the privilege of navigating myself. And the realities are every single layer of education is harmful to us as Indigenous people. I have yet to find an institution where I felt safe, where I felt sacred, where I felt my spirit was intact. And it was our ceremony and our medicines and our lodges and all of those things that kept me going, that fueled me. So I think about that a lot. Like, now what's next? You know, how do we begin to reclaim our children? How do we begin to reclaim our education systems? And there's a lot of really great programs that already exist in Akwesasne, like the Freedom School and some of these rich places that have been, you know, hard fought for. So I think some of it requires us to also feed into those systems and uplift those systems and celebrate those systems, because that is the anti-colonial institution. And the more we pour into that, I think the better outcomes we'll see for our children.
I just want to clap. That's so good. That is so, like, yes, it's true. You know, just like when they talk about buy local, pour into your local economy, it's like we need to uplift and build into our educators.
And I think there needs to be something that's accessible for all, because I think the Freedom School is a great space for Indigenous students that want to learn language. But we need a safe space for all students in this local area, Indigenous or not, so that they can all thrive. And then we can merge traditional teachings there as well, like with food sovereignty programs. And like, you know, like there's so many really good charter schools that do that, where you're also learning off the land and you're also giving back to community, and they have really good recycling programs and gardens. And like, I've seen them, like, especially down in Ithaca, you know, like there's really nice schools that do that work, but it's really difficult to establish a charter school. But it can be done. I mean, if we're doing the work now to dismantle a colonial school system, we can put in the work to create a a decolonized school system that
Yes.
helps our children thrive, especially a high school space.
Yes.
And that's something, like, I agree. Like, I don't agree with a lot of the schools. I don't agree with a lot of schools around here. Like, Mohawk School, we see it's going to shit. There's another language school but you gotta kind of have really high, your kids gotta have real high proficiency to get in there. And I've heard, like, great things about it, but it's also, like, pretty straight, like, decolonized. Forget how to call it, but Akwesasne and Deos Wate School, like, awesome. Like, they do a lot of really cool fucking things that I see them post, and I'm like,
I want to go to
so
school
cool.
there.
Like, I want to go to school there.
I will pay a tuition to be a fly on the wall in that school.
No, and that's how I agree. And then, like, I think about, like, it's not just my daughter. Like, there's other kids in this community that, you know, my daughter's really learning her identity right now, and, like, who she is as an Indigenous person, and she's, like, taking in all these different things. But then I, as her mother, I don't want to not take her out of the environment. I want the environment that she's in to change, but still support her where she's reading and she's learning math, but she's learning how to be a good human and not a robot. And, you know, like, there is the Freedom School, but I don't agree with the Freedom School. My little cousin was abused there. And I wouldn't send my kids there, personally, for me, just because that happened. And they were told, we're going to handle this internally. Not for me. And that's where it's just, like, you think you got one place, and then, nope, that one's not great, too. And there's, like, other people that are like, yeah, this thing happened to me at this school, too. I thought that was normal. And it's not. And it's, like, all the schools in the freaking area. And then you go to send your kids to Messina, and they're getting called Redskins and wagon burners. And there's no...
I got called a wagon burner in Messina.
I did too! And there's just, like, no...
Like, how does that even happen?
No,
how is that real? Yeah.
I got asked if my parents were smugglers and if that's how they made a living. And I was like, actually, my mother's a teacher and my father works at Alcoa where your father works. So I think, you know, that the discrimination within education is real. And all of the issues that you're touching on, you know, hit close to home for sure.
Oh, it's definitely, there's all those microaggressions in every single space. And the more you infiltrate the education system with some really good cultural safety education and really start them young to understand who the people are in a diverse area, like, they're not going to get it. And it starts in the homes. It starts in those really good conversations, and they're not being had.
And that's one thing, like, my husband's told me, like, he works in the schools, and he comes home, and he's like, yeah, we had some kid today. They were in Messina, and they're like, yeah, we had some kid today say to, just outwardly to everyone, because another kid asked if they were from the res, and him and his mom were like, yeah, we are. And like, it's like, oh, I heard you guys are all smugglers and criminals, and it's dangerous there. And these kids are, like, 9 years old. And we're just, all I can do is, like, for us, like, laugh, because it's like, what the fuck are these parents teaching their kids?
That's what they
hate.
And, like, have you
teaching
looked?
them hate.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. There's so much, because this was a big fight for me when I was in high school, middle school and high school when I was in Messina, was, like, the fight. Like, I didn't stand for that shit. I thought it was ridiculous, and it's still ridiculous, and it's a lot. It's heavy, and it's a lot to carry, and I don't know how you guys do it, because I think back to my time where I was loud. I was louder than I am now, and I'm, like, finding my voice again, but, like, you guys are still doing it, and I'm here to kind of, like, I'm here because I want to learn off you guys.
Well, we're tired.
Yeah.
For one. We're tired of this shit. I'm fucking tired. Tired of everyone's shit. But
we don't.
I think, has anybody heard any updates since the school board meeting, the announcement Thursday? Because I have not.
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard
because
anything.
I am hoping to hear that, what do you call it, admin leave?
Yeah.
Supposedly, you know, in, like, American, however the workplace works, I don't know, I'm too resi to know, is that it's, like, admin leave, and then usually they get fired after investigation. So I am hoping to see that list be bigger.
Yeah.
I think what is going to happen is New York State comes in this week to investigate. That's what's happening within the next couple of days. I think they're here now. So
Okay.
they'll probably be here today, tomorrow, and it's Christmas Eve. And then they'll probably issue a report next week before New Year's Eve. So I'm assuming we're going to hear back early next week because they do take the holidays off.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like that's the timeline. They're trying to get it done before.
We have
That's
to
my
reopen
assumption.
or
I didn't
reopen
hear
the
anything,
district.
but I'm feeling like my assumption is they're trying to get the investigation done in the work days that are open for the state. And that way we can assume that we'll hear something before school is supposed to be open.
Well, I have a question, and maybe it's for when we're off the air. What are we going to do about it if this doesn't go the way it needs to go?
Everyone needs to pull their kids out.
Well, we pull our kids out on the first day back to school.
We'll pull,
Okay.
like, if they're not gonna, we're gonna just pull them all out. And
we're going to call for it.
yeah.
And that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
So right now we're kind of trying to let everybody
They got
be happy holidays and stuff like that, you know. Shout out to Shara for making that holiday party just fucking happen.
I know, right?
And Sarah, like everybody, like I was gone away to a
I barely
doctor's
did
appointment
anything.
all day. Like I was gone to Burlington all day and I'm just getting updates. I'm like, fuck yeah. People, what about our kids? Hold on. We know some people who know some people who got some phone numbers. And I was so happy. And that is showing community and that is showing up for your community. And that shows we don't need you in your school district Christmas party.
No.
We can get together whenever we feel like it. Whenever somebody just says we're getting together, we make it happen. And I'm just so proud of you guys. And I'm so grateful that for once, I wasn't like the crazy angry lady that everybody's like, oh, she's so mad. It's like, yeah, I am mad.
But we're all mad.
But we're all mad. And I, having people message me and say, what are we going to do? That just, that got rid of my self-doubt of who am I to blast this out there? Who am I to say something? My child wasn't in that classroom. Who am I to call for a community meeting? We all are that important. And I don't feel like I'm important. I always just say I'm just a mom. And people say, oh, that's like the most important thing. It's like, I think the most important thing is just being a good human. And then everything else falls into place after that. But I think if nothing changes and we're set to reopen and we're not assured that all these people who had a part in the horrors of our school district, I'm not sending my kids.
Hell no.
I'm not gonna and I know, and so I feel like as somebody who tries to look ahead and plan for things, I want to know what we as a community are going to do if we pull out hundreds of children. What are we going to do with them? Where are they going to go? Parents are still going to need to eat
And work.
and kids are still going to need structure and socialization and love. So I'm trying to think. I'm looking around at buildings when I'm driving around. I'm like, we could probably like do a community movie there. Like I'm trying to think ahead to if we had to pull our kids out to make a statement, which we always talk about doing it. But if we actually set the date and do it, what are we going to do? And I don't want to have the naysayers or the people who are box defenders to say, well, that's what you get. No, that is not what we get.
And we don't want people losing jobs either.
And we don't
because
want to
they can't
punish
have
people who
childcare.
can't have a choice, right? It's like your choice between a voice and survival. And this is what our people have dealt with forever. And so I want to know what we're going to do. Because I'm like, all right, we got like 10 good days of planning. If we can make a community meeting
I took next
to
week
make
off.
FOIA.
Just so you know.
If we can make a community meeting in less than 24 hours and pack it and start FOIL requests and help people file complaints, and if we have people who can host a holiday party for the whole school district in half a day, I think we can come up with a plan in over a week of what we're going to do for the children in this district. Because I don't think this is just an Akwesasne issue. I think this is a district-wide issue. And I'm even, like driving here, I'm like, I wonder if there's like a a hall or something in Fort Covington to house children, maybe with a couple good teachers, or if they want to, like.
And how many do we need per children?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of all these
safety
things, ratio, and I'm thinking, can we pass a hat around the community and be like, okay, you don't have work because we pull out of school kids out. You're going to go over here and teach math for 2 hours, and we're going to pay you more than the district will. Could you imagine the morale? Yeah, like, I feel like we could plan things like that. So I'm going to try to patiently wait for an update, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because I always see the outrage come. I always see us get angry, and we call for action, but then we all just go back to work because we all just go back to work because that's what our life is, and
gotta survive.
I am really trying to think of how we could support people if they wanted to take a stand. How do we help them take a stand?
I think that's where, too, we demand that accountability for those organizations who came in and who stood up and who, had a bold statement. Like, for me, it's about walking the talk.
Yeah.
It's easy to write a really strong press release. It's easy to stand up and read a well-crafted letter that you've probably had lawyers look over, but the real hard work happens behind the scenes, like you're talking about, and the organizing and the mobilization and feeding kids and meeting basic needs. Like, that's the real stuff that the families need. So I think that's where, part of that accountability goes back to those systems as well, who are there to uphold and provide for this community. They have adequate resources to do so, and they have the power to give people paid time off of work to not disrupt their lives. And that's where I think some of that pressure and advocacy needs to be pointed as well.
I agree. And I think we forget, like, how many resources we have, because most of us are too proud to accept help or go apply for resources and things like that. But that's what it's there for. And I think if ever a time our community needs to get real familiar with the people who are paid to help us, I think it might be now.
Yeah, no, I've been eligible for WIC for 6 years now. I just applied in September.
Good job asking for help. She's over here flinching.
It's so good to ask for help.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good program, and that's a thing, right? Like, that's a need.
And it was like I got my appointment, and I got my things, my benefits in the same day. So you get your card and your benefits. So just a FYI.
There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and our people can be a bit proud because of who we are.
Yeah.
But when I have people who are like, oh, I need food stamps or I need heat, and I go, that's the state's rent that they owe us. Go get it. Don't ever feel ashamed. Don't ever feel sorry. Don't ever be,
too proud.
Down. And like, go get it. That's what they made it for. They're going to give it to their own citizens while they owe us rent money.
That's something I was told, like, by my therapist a couple years ago, because I was telling her, like, oh, I don't want to take it from somebody who needs it.
No, they give it to everybody.
And that's what she said. She said, it is in their budget. If you don't use it, they just don't get that next year, and it lowers it. So if you are eligible, they already have a portion set aside for you.
That's right.
They know your taxes. They know everything. They know. They have the money set aside. Go use it. Because if you don't, they don't get it next year.
And do you hear that, everybody? Go to mental health.
Yes.
Go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Yes.
Get your mental health support. Utilize those services. If you don't have one, find one. Also, there's really nice AI that you can chat with online.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
And if therapy isn't your jam, go to ceremony. Go to talking circles.
Smudge. Take a salt bath.
Do something to help be grounded during all of this time, because it's holidays, and holidays are hard, like, nonetheless. And then add all of this on top of it. Like, the weight that we're carrying right now is so heavy that we really need to find all of the things that we can to really decompress from it, whatever that may be. And I do want to have a community. I know that I've been sharing a lot of the different flyers from the different programs that are hosting mental health things. I think there was one today, and there's one tomorrow, and the tribe was sharing stuff, NCA was sharing stuff. They're really traditional medicine's really doing a lot of things
Yeah.
to support community right now, to decompress and to support. And they always do around this time, but I think they're doing it tenfold right now because of everything going on with the schools.
Yeah.
But also just seeing if we can rally to have a talking circle and maybe another community smudge and
Yeah.
like getting people together just to sing. Just to find the good medicine where we can, where
I
we
was
can.
sad
you know?
we didn't have a community smudge this fall, and then now I think maybe it's because we weren't ready for a cleanse, and now we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are going to clear the air because we're cleaning house.
We are, yeah. We're getting rid of all the dirt. Oh, I just trying to think of all of the things holistically. Like we gotta.
There's nothing wrong with going to ask for help, even if you do it over the phone. But also, a lot of people think that children like aren't eligible or don't need services. Like, you could take kids that are 3-4 years old to therapy.
Yeah.
There are ways to be taught how to parent a traumatized child, how to parent your children when you're traumatized yourself. Like, there's so many tools out there that we don't need to keep cycles going. You know, we're here to be cycle breakers, and showing our kids that we can try to work on our own health and wellness is just as important as fighting for their health and wellness.
Yeah.
That's some heavy shit today.
I know.
Yeah,
So what
that's
else
a
are we going to
lot.
talk about? I want to bring up that Turkin, Nelson, and Ungwe got some
1 hour.
land. So Ungwe paid off a tax debt in Franklin County, and they got back. I'm so excited. I can't even talk. They got back 30 something acres, and they want to do like one whole big thing, just white corn, vegetables. Like they want to make fruit trees. Like I am so excited to take my kids and any of my daycare kids out on the land and away from a main road and just like run through a giant garden.
Yeah.
Like Ungwe over at Geoguruside, or not, it's Geoguruside.
Deal.
Yes. I'm really tired. So like that garden was beautiful, and it was like so awesome this year, and like it fed my family, it fed like my daycare families, you know. And to think that they got like 50 times that size to just grow food for the community, like we're gonna have some happenings come spring and summer. So I am so excited for them. That was like the best news I got this season. So I just wanted to share that because that is like food sovereignty.
Yeah.
Like let's go, because food's one of our identifiers.
And that's freedom.
Yes.
I love Ungwe.
I know. It's so heavy. We just keep all sighing like, oh my god.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we?
I don't know.
I don't know what else to talk about other than, you
It's
know.
okay, an hour.
We can just
Yeah, this is an hour. But any uplifting words of inspiration for community as we close? I don't want to leave on any kind of, ongweye, but any other kind of things like as we move forward into the next phase of this all.
I would just want to share, we served 145 students and their families at our holiday party. And there was a little boy there who shared some feedback, and he said it was the best day ever.
Aw,
So that was
yes.
my win for the week.
I love that so
That is
much.
so awesome. And the Freedom School is in their new location. I heard they moved over.
Yay.
I'm very excited about that. They have that really nice like food, like a place for food classes. They call it the cannery. Like we're watching people make things happen. 20, 30 years in the works, but
Heck
it's
yeah.
going. So you can decolonize the school. We can do it.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I wanna thank you all for sharing in your experience and your power and coming together collectively to make change in community and advocating for families. Us standing shoulder to shoulder with all of the other women and families this last week and a half has been life-changing. I think it's been history-changing. It's historic. And it's part of the legacy of all the other families over the generations that have changed the school system and continue to change it. And and we're not backing down. We're going to keep listening to our community and doing what we need to do to make this change. We're empowered by our ancestors and our current families and people here that keep telling us what to do, and we're listening. There's not many people that can tell me what to do, but community tells me what to do all the time. So I'm just really grateful that we're all on this journey together, and it's all going to unfold the way that it's supposed to, because we're very much driven by our ancestors and Creator. And I just feel really lucky in this moment that our children have a brighter and safer future because our community is coming together to make this happen. Mm-hmm. So Nyawa for sharing space with me today. Nyawa for sharing your voice and community. Nyawa for your time and your lack of sleep.
So tired. I'm so tired.
Ganalunkwa for sharing space on Women's Dance. It's been an honor this evening, and I'm really grateful for you all being here tonight.
Ganalunkwa Nyawa. And scene.